Okay, it is 6:30 on a crisp 32-degree Saturday morning, and we're gonna go do some camping. Well, I've made it to a parking area, but my GPS says I have another 3 miles until I get to the trailhead, and the road is closed. So I'm gonna go take a look at the sign over there. I might be walking a little extra today. All right, here we go. So there's the road I was supposed to drive down for another 3 miles. That's not happening. Some guy just showed up doing the same thing I'm doing, but he's got a snowmobile. Really lucky. So maybe he'll pass by and give me a ride. I did not get a ride, but I went back and got my gloves. The lake that I was originally trying to camp at is a few more miles down the road. The access road that I'm walking on right now is closed to vehicles except snowmobiles. So, should I keep moving? This isn't a very strenuous walk, but it's getting hot. Ooh, I think it's a bear track. Huh. I've never seen a bear track, but that doesn't look like any animal I've ever seen, and it's large. The other thing that I considered was bringing a fishing rod, which my trout rod is in my car and can easily fold down into or collapse down into something smaller that would be friendly to put on my pack. I've done it before for other trips, but frankly, I don't know how trouty or fishy even these waters are. A lot of them are still frozen. Ugh. I can hear Katie saying, "Careful where you step." Yep, that was deep. That was pretty deep. Here I am again, shedding another layer. According to my map, the river right there parallels this whole road all the way to the end, so I shouldn't have any problems finding water. I don't feel like walking anymore. I'm gonna put a stick in that hitch so that it doesn't come loose. Perfect. That's the bad thing about having paracord that looks exactly like twigs and branches on the ground. I just lost a piece. All right, that doesn't look too bad. This is pretty nice. The point of the shelter faces west, northwest. Right now the wind is coming from this way. I don't really feel it right now, but according to the weather, it's supposed to change to northwest winds tonight. So the point of the shelter here will help cut some of that wind and keep it away from me. I have the fire gonna go right there. So far, so good. Let's get everything else set up. Unpacking literally everything. Well, it's only 11:15 and we've got camp made for the night. So the only thing left to do now is collect a ton of firewood and kind of reconfigure the fire pit a little bit to be a little closer. This is a good tree. It's got plenty of sticks coming off of it. It's tall, and most importantly, it's dead. It's missing like half the tree. Totally snapped at the top. It's nice and dry in there. That'll be perfect. Kevin, I could really use you right now, man. Almost forgot my pillow. After laying down, I was cold, so I threw my Patagonia back on. I've only cut 3 pieces of wood out of the tree that I just took down. And I'm back to sweating my ass off. Let's see if I can chop these. Beautiful. Feels like it's a little wet inside, so I'm gonna put it around the fire ring so when I get it started it'll dry out, hopefully. There's a knot in that one. I've split all of this, which is all wet inside. Not crazy, but definitely damp. And I've lined it around the inside of the fire ring so that as soon as I get this going with everything else that's dry, these will hopefully dry out. And I can just start stacking them on as I go. Yeah, looking good. It's warm right now. Relatively. I mean, it's probably in the upper 40s, but working around, cutting trees, stomping through the snow really makes you sweaty and tired. Probably going to get down into the teens tonight from what I saw online, but well, I had a protein cookie. I've laid down for, I don't know, 20 minutes. Still plenty of time in the day, but I think I want to get more firewood, collect some water, and then see if I can make a stool or something to sit on. That'd be nice. Time to get up. "64 ounces of water, and I still have some left in my Nalgene." Not that water is going to be a main concern. I mean, we're right next to a river, so. I gotta say, this has been very successful so far. I've got my shelter built. I've got water. My bear line is in a tree way over there. I'm doing pretty good. I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good. So I took a walk up the creek bed here, and just another really cool clearing. It's really neat. These giant sheets of ice that have just kind of broken up when things thawed and laid themselves all around the rocks on the river here. And you can even see out there where that shelf is melted out. It's really cool. Boy, do I feel dumb. I said, no, don't bring the fishing rod. I mean, look at the water. I mean, right here is like, I don't know, almost 3 feet deep. It's crystal clear. You know, we're just starting spring. I've seen a couple of little bugs in the air as it's gotten warmer. Wouldn't surprise me at all that some trout were waking up in here, or maybe even a little active. But I am not walking 3 miles back to the car to get my fishing rod. But it's beautiful here. I mean, well, I've got some birch bark, some kindling, some more dry kindling, some more dry sticks. All of those are split and they're going to dry out. This stuff, very dry. And I processed down all of this. I'm probably going to use the jet boil to cook dinner just because it'll be faster. But the fire will just be a comfort. And I should have more than enough wood to keep it going. Through the Patagonia on, I was starting to get a little cold. It's going to start to get cold here soon. So, what I was just thinking was, in the event that I am cold, because I am getting cold, a smart idea would be to take my down jacket and my thermals, wherever they are, put them in my sleeping bag, because I don't want to put cold thermals and socks on later. I want to put warm ones on. So if I stuff them in my bag and I'm laying on them for a while, because I'm just kind of laying here anyway, and hopefully they'll be nice and warm by the time I go to put them on. So I'm not going to make dinner for a little while, but I'm pretty excited. So I have some butter garlic rice that I'm just going to throw in the pot. And I made tikka masala about a week ago and then froze it and vacuum sealed it and then froze it. So I'm going to heat that up over the rice. And I brought some little tiny naans. So pretty pumped about that. I'm going to heat up some water and have some tea now. This is some, I don't even know what kind of tea this is, but it smells very good. So, and then I've got some honey packets from a previous camping trip. All right, we're boiling. Give the honey a stir in with the tea. Crawled out of my cave for a little bit to enjoy some tea by the river. That's two. When you're getting cold, camping, just go cut firewood, because that was 3 pieces and I'm sweating again. I've got 4 logs that will probably become firewood, but for now, they are going to be a stool. Ah, fuck. Did it again. Ah, did it twice. Wow. I'll tell you what. I have burned myself with melted paracord at least 24 times this week, let alone this trip. That's dumb. That's not bad. That is not bad. Wow, my finger really, that really burned. Oh yeah, I went through a layer of skin on that one. Ooh. Ow. I think I'm done now with the projects and such. So after some careful consideration, I'm gonna pick up the shelter and move it over there. Mainly because there's a whole lot of melting that's happening right here, and especially over here. Although I know it's going to freeze tonight and that won't be too much of an issue, I just don't like it. I'll be a little more comfortable with that. It's on top of some thicker snow, not just a sheet of ice, so time to get started. Okay. So I've gone to the lower profile and my canopy comes out a little further, so if it does rain, I'm tucked under there nice and good. I like that a lot better. Now I gotta move all my stuff in there. Now time to move the fire pit. Well, that's all done. Fire pit, shelter. I think it's time to make a fire. Wow. That is a lot better. Woo! Well,
It is about that time.
dinner time. I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna eat this, then take care of all the dishes, hang my stuff, and then it's just chilling from here on out. Well, the food's away in the tree, the fire's going. I'm gonna put some comfortable clothes on and pack it in. Well, I'm in my thermals. I got fresh socks on. Everything's put away. Can't really beat it. Fire's still going. So I'm just gonna let that burn out, and I'll use whatever's left in the morning. Oh man, it's like just about midnight and the wind just won't change directions like I thought it was going to, like it should have. And it just blew right in, brought all the ash from the fire with it, and just lifted this whole tarp off the ground. I mean, like a foot on every side. So I've had to get out and make it an enclosed shelter. The best way I possibly can at midnight. So it's basically just staked down all around with a ton of rocks. And I'm just kind of hoping it holds. It's 7 o'clock. It got a lot colder last night than when I originally went to sleep. I'm pretty chilly. So I'm just gonna get up and get moving. Okay. It's a lot colder than it was last night. So I'm gonna get a fire going. Now that that's settled, let's clean up the bed. We gotta go get our food. Forgot about that. So the ground last night froze, which means I can walk across it without punching through again, which is super annoying. Food secure. Well, it's been fun, and as nice as it would be to steam up some instant coffee right now, I saw a couple of really nice cafes back in town on my way in, and I think I'm gonna do that instead. See, those are my footholds from yesterday. The ground froze, which makes it easier to walk on. I like that. Time to work my way a few miles back to the car. Bye-bye. See you at the car.